So, how do you tell the story of a man known as the Czar of Indian IT, a super tough, generation defining business leader, who then turns around and gives away more money than he actually has left? I mean, it's really like two lives packed into one, and it's easily one of the most remarkable stories in modern business. Okay, let's get into it. And it really all starts with this one kind of wild question. How on earth did a company that made cooking oil and laundry soap become a global technology powerhouse? Well, the answer is all wrapped up in the journey of one man, its leader, Azim Premji. I mean, this slide really says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you have cooking fats and soap, and on the other, a global IT giant pulling in over $10 billion in revenue. That mind-blowing transformation, that's the story we're going to unpack today. But you know, a story like this doesn't kick off in some fancy boardroom. Nope. It starts with a personal tragedy that would completely change the course of a young man's life. Forever. Just try to picture this for a second. You're 21 years old, you're studying engineering at Stanford, you're living the dream, and then you get the call. Your father has passed away. Suddenly. That was Azim Premji's reality in 1966. He had to drop everything, leave school, and fly home to take over the family business. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures the massive crossroads he was at. You know, at an early shareholders meeting, someone actually told this young kid he should just sell his shares and let a professional handle it. But he didn't. He chose the hard path, the challenge, a decision that wouldn't just define his own life, but would end up shaping an entire industry. But just taking charge? That was only the beginning. The next move was a pivot so bold, so audacious, it seemed almost impossible at the time. Jumping from everyday stuff like soap into the high-stakes brand new world of technology. Okay, so here's the quick rundown. His father starts the company back in 45. Premji takes the reins in 66. By 77, he renames it Wipro. And then in the 1980s, boom, the Great Leap. He sees an opportunity that pretty much no one else did. So what kicked this all off? It's actually a fascinating piece of business history. The Indian government basically forced the tech giant IBM to leave the country. Now, most people saw that as a huge crisis. Premji, he saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He jumped right into that vacuum, started making mini-computers, and made that decisive, legendary pivot from soaps to software. But you know, spotting an opportunity is one thing. Building a company that lasts is another. It's all about creating a culture, a set of principles that can drive growth for decades. And for Premji, this became known as the Wipro way. So these were the pillars he built everything on: absolute, unshakable ethical integrity, a crazy focus on quality and customers. And he famously practiced what he preached, especially when it came to that third point, his legendary personal thrift. And just listen to this quote. It tells you everything you need to know about his mindset. He wasn't just trying to be the best tech company in India. No way. From the start, his goal was to go head-to-head with the global giants, the big dogs like IBM and Accenture. That ambition was the engine for everything. The stories about his frugality are just famous. I mean, get this. Here's a guy worth billions of dollars, but he reportedly flew economy, stayed in modest hotels, and even kept an eye on how many toilet paper rolls were being used at the Wipro offices. But see, it wasn't about being cheap. It was about having this deep, profound respect for the company's money and leading by example. So after spending 50 years building one of the world's great companies, Azim Premji made his second great pivot. Only this time it wasn't about building wealth. It was about giving it all away. Now to really get the scale of this second act, you gotta start with this number. His personal net worth, all built from that little cooking oil company, is over $11 billion. That is just a staggering amount of wealth. But then, you look at this. His total lifetime giving is $21 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. The man has given away nearly double his current net worth. I mean, that is an almost unheard of level of philanthropy anywhere on the planet. And he made this official in 2013. He became the very first Indian to sign the Giving Pledge. That's the campaign started by Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. He stood up and publicly promised to dedicate the majority of his massive fortune to helping others. And if you want to see just how huge his impact has been, this chart it's just mind-boggling. According to one report, his contributions make up a staggering 80% of all large philanthropic donations in India. I mean, think about that. Without him, large-scale giving in the country would have actually gone down. He single-handedly redrew the map for philanthropy in India. So why do it? Well, in his own words, here's the simple, powerful idea behind it all. He said that just being rich did not thrill him. What did? Using that privilege to try and create a better, more fair world for everyone else. And let's be clear, this isn't just about cutting checks and walking away. His foundation is deeply involved, with boots on the ground, working to improve the quality of education in India's public school system. We're talking about an impact on hundreds of thousands of schools and millions of kids. So, when you put it all together, when you step back and look at the whole picture, what is the legacy of Azim Premji? Well, it's a story defined by two equally powerful but totally different achievements. On one side of the coin, you've got the builder, the relentless entrepreneur who saw an opening and built a global tech empire from scratch. And on the other side, you've got the giver, the compassionate capitalist who gave away nearly everything he built, and in doing so, completely reshaped philanthropy in his country. It's just such a powerful combination. He proved you can build an incredibly successful business with the highest ethical standards, and that maybe, just maybe, the true measure of that success isn't what you keep for yourself, but what you contribute back to the world. And that really leaves us with this one big thought. Azim Premji's life gives us one profound answer to a question that kind of defines our time. It's a question for all of us to think about, really. What is the true responsibility that comes with great wealth?